We often say that we are free, we're independent, in charge of our own fate, and then suddenly you come to know that America has given us permission to buy Russian oil. Isn't that great, guys? But to be honest with you all, I think we should celebrate. What do you think? An Iranian ship was hit near our coast. They came here because we invited them. They were our responsibility. We didn't even try to save the sailors. Sri Lankans did that. You know what the whole world is saying? They're calling Sri Lankans lions because, despite being a small country, they saved those Iranian sailors. And these bunch of nincompoops who don't understand anything about anything are trying to lecture you about geopolitics. Completely sold out. Completely sold out. You have no idea how bad things are. For 200 years, we were under the British. Finally, we got rid of them. And now they're back. This time they have a different accent. This time they have an American accent. Who are Americans? What is America? America is the extension of the East India Company. The Britishers thought that, okay, what if we lose our control over the world? We need to have a base, right? That's why America functions like a corporation, because it is a corporation. It has a president, it has a vice president, it has secretaries and shit. Do you know Henry Kissinger? Do you know who he is? He's one of the worst war criminals ever to walk on this planet. And he said that it may be dangerous to be an enemy of America, but to be its friend is always fatal. Ask Iraq, ask Ukraine. I don't even know what our leaders are thinking at this point. Why do we want to do this? A while ago, you people were saying that we'll do anything for our farmers. We're not going to compromise on that. And now it's okay. Suddenly it's okay to have America in our agricultural market. These people barely make anything. Losers like you go there and bargain with them for a couple of rupees every single day. You care about fucking farmers? Why is the world being racist, sir? Why everybody hating only, sir? Stupid motherfucker, stupid. And we're not supposed to break that pattern. God forbid if somebody wants to change that. God forbid if somebody says we should actually be independent, actually be free, have control over our resources. No, sell everything to American corporations, you fucking pathetic creatures. Don't stand up, don't create problems, don't speak up. You're making our supreme leader look bad. Really? Your supreme leader goes and hugs a war criminal. He has an ICC warrant against him, International Criminal Court. He will be tried for genocide. Do you know what genocide is? Stop watching stupid sold out media and understand what's happening in the world. Because if you continue to do this, we won't even have a country. We will once again become slaves to the Anglo-Saxons. Do you know what Anglo-Saxons are? Of course you don't. Why would you? We're supposed to adjust. We're supposed to tolerate. We're supposed to move on. Alright, we'll do that. And then they wonder why the youth is leaving this country. Do they have any prospects? Might as well just go and work directly for the masters in the US. Why work here for pennies? The infrastructure is garbage, the streets are filthy, the buildings are collapsing. Our farmers are struggling, our soldiers are freaking out. Nobody is happy. And God forbid if somebody even mentioned that, you suddenly become anti-national. You fucking... 1947 was not a reset. The Britishers never left. They left a bunch of their agents here. You know, the people who bootlegged the Britishers when they were here. And eventually they took control. Isn't it interesting that Americans like a type of Indians, a certain type of Indians which is subservient to them? Recently, Laura Loomer came here. Do you know who Laura Loomer is? The rabid Zionist. She was rabid in her tweets against Indians. She was rabid. Kudos to Sardesai for holding her feet to the fire. Kudos. Good job, man. Good job. Show these people who they are. Show them. Show them what they've done. Back in the day, when we were under British rule, the British didn't just rule us. They conditioned us. They programmed us. They controlled our behavior. They killed everybody who had a revolutionary spirit against them. Do you know what I used to call these people? Do you know what the propaganda was back then? That our freedom fighters are raping white women. They're raping British women. And hence, we have to kill them. And do you know what they did to them? They would tie them up to a fucking cannon and blow them to bits. And make everybody watch. Make an example out of them. Please, for the love of God, wake up before it's too late. This colonial conditioning has turned us into zombies. It has rewired our brains when it comes to authority. Look how we react to authority even today. A government official, a police officer, a bureaucrat. Sir, please sir, very good sir. What is this shit? You don't see this kind of behavior in any other country other than third world countries like us. The bureaucracy we operate under today is not entirely new. It is built on colonial frameworks designed for control, not empowerment, complete centralization of power. It was never meant to serve the people efficiently. It was meant to manage them, and we have adapted to it just fine. Now, because of this, instead of demanding transparency, we learn patience. Instead of challenging inefficiency, we learn to navigate it. And instead of questioning power, we learn to work around it. That's not freedom. That's adjustment. You don't question why things are the way they are. You just assume that they've always been this way and always will be. That is how conditioning survives. Not through force, but through acceptance. Centuries of conditioning. It is probably a part of our DNA by now. And then there's fear. Of course, there's fear. It's our history. 1,000 years of subjugation. I thought after the independence we'll become wise. We'll become one of those sane countries that strive for world peace, that strive for stability, that will oppose imperialism because we were a victim of it. But no, God forbid we do that. Am I right? We just went and sat in their laps. And what is with this jugaad culture? India is not for beginners, sir. Are you stupid? Are you fucking stupid? How will things improve if you're just gonna make excuses for them? Just figure things out. Find a workaround. Pay a bunch of bribes. Just normalize this madness. There are some absolute morons who think that this stupid habit of ours to adjust to everything is a good thing. Did you fall head first when you were a kid? Without pressure, nothing moves here. You have to go and sit in front of them to make things happen. And that is just small government officials. Imagine what must be happening at the top. Jugaad solves individual problems, but it quietly protects broken systems. Because if people keep adapting, there's no pressure to change anything. There's no urgency. Why would they care if you don't care? Do you know that Iran used to be the largest supplier of oil to us? And then America comes in and stops us from buying Iranian oil, and we agree. Then we turn to Russia. We just had one friend in the whole world, and we've isolated them too. America gives one order, and these losers stop buying Russian oil. What do the Russians think? Fucking cowards. All this yapping about friendship, and when we needed them the most, they cowered. They ran away. India-Russia friendships are. India-Russia friendships are. And now, America says, you know what? Buy Russian oil and sell it to Europe. You know what the Russians have said now? You're not getting any discount. Good for them. Good for the Russians. Do that. Mazak bana rakha hai. In geopolitics, there are no friends, sir. Are you stupid? Are you stupid? Do you have a mental condition or something? Are you schizophrenic? Are you bipolar? I thought this was a democracy. Rule of the people. No longer. The oligarchs have taken over. It's like Russia from the 90s. Remember Gorbachev? How he went and sat in the lap of America and how it almost destroyed Russia until Putin came in and took over everything and saved Russia pretty much. These jokers want to compete with China. Where is our manufacturing? Where is our industry? We were supposed to be independent by now, right? Self-sufficient. That was the promise. Did you forget about that? Now America's gonna run everything. At least we had our agricultural sector. Next time an Indian talks about a farmer, grab that motherfucker and ask him. There's no need to be violent, just ask him about these things, these obvious and blatant contradictions in everything that they say. They will push their stupid shit onto us now. High fructose corn syrup. As if we don't have enough poison in our foods already. As if FSSAI isn't a joke already. If you want to watch the corruption of FSSAI, I'll link a video here somewhere. There'll be a card popping up. You can just click on that and watch that if you want to watch that. Or you can finish this video and go and watch it later. I'm a Hindu. I have respect for my religion. But I'm not gonna let these psychopaths ruin our reputation forever. Iran was flabbergasted, do you know that? Iran didn't expect that. They gave us their port. Do you remember that? Chabahar port. We ran that port. If only Indians could comprehend how bad things are for us, they would take to the streets. But unfortunately, this doesn't work. This doesn't work. Indoctrination is a disease. Are these people related to you? Vote for somebody else on the same policy. But how is change gonna happen if we're gonna repeat the same mistakes over and over again? We were supposed to build world-class infrastructure. Where is that infrastructure? Am I the crazy one for asking about that? The roads don't last more than a couple of years. Not more than a couple of years. And then we see potholes everywhere. I'm not giving the clean shit to the previous governments. They were corrupt too. And this isn't the first time Iran was betrayed by our country. Last time, the Congress did it. 20 years ago. We voted against them in the UN on false information, on propaganda of the United States. This didn't start with the BJP. The previous government is equally culpable in this. When they attacked us, 2008, 2611, do you know who the main architect of that attack was? Of course you don't. They'll always point fingers at Pakistan. Yes, Pakistan was involved, but who was the main conspirator in that? David Coleman Headley. He's an American citizen. He is CIA. Not a single loser will ever mention David Headley. Not a single person. We care about our friends. Do you know that in 1971, Yemen, you know, the Houthis, whom you call names, they sent their air force to help us. When Americans and the British attacked us in the Indian Ocean, the Russians, they sent their nuclear submarines. The Yemenis, they sent their air force. And how do we repay them? By backstabbing them. The Yemenis were being starved by the Saudi Arabians and Americans. They were being starved, not a single word of condemnation from our state. We look after our friends? Are you fucking kidding me right now? Everything is propaganda. And I'm sick and tired of it. Oh, what can we do? These are powerful forces. But there's so many of you. One of you can stand and lead. Someone who's pragmatic, who's intelligent, who's brave, who's incorruptible. I'm pretty sure we can find like thousands of people like that in our country, who would gladly sacrifice their lives for the greater good. But we don't want that. We want a bunch of businessmen who will sell out everything that we have, everything, and make us slaves in our very own country. Now, I don't know if you know about this, but it happens a lot in India. The farmers of our country don't even have the resources to cultivate, so they give their lands on lease for peanuts to others. And then they work in the same farm, in their own farm, for 100 rupees, for 200 rupees, for 300 rupees. Do you know 70%, more than 70% of our population survives on less than $2 to $3 a day? You have the audacity to call yourself a superpower? Are you stupid? Every decision of ours is based in cowardice. Oh, if I do this, will it upset someone? Or will I get in trouble? Is it okay? And then when no one is looking, you encourage these corrupt systems. You pay bribes. You take bribes. You love it. Deep down, our soul has gotten corrupted, and these are just the symptoms of it. We have to fix it. We have to fix our morality. We have to fix our ethics. We have to stop cheering when there are bombs being dropped on school children. It is evil. In life, you can be many things, but do not be a coward. If Netaji had been a coward, would still be cleaning toilets in some white dude's house, would still see outside government offices. No dogs and Indians allowed. Amidst all this chaos, our individual will is getting compromised. You don't speak up because you've been trained not to disrupt. You don't challenge because you've been trained to maintain peace. Until one day, you realize that you don't even know what you want to do with your life. Indians have a lot of talents. And there's a reason why Americans want to have Indian CEOs. But I'll tell you why so many Indians are CEOs and why Americans like it that way. Indians are very agreeable. You can just give them orders and they just follow, right? They're smart, but the centuries of conditioning has made us very subservient. So the board of directors can get anything passed with a CEO like that. Somebody who doesn't push back. And that is why Google has gone to shit. You never get what you're looking for on Google these days, right? YouTube has gone to shit. The same kind of things recommended to you over and over again. The algorithm is crap. It's almost like a propaganda machine at this point. Microsoft sucks as well, right? Their whole Copilot crap. Nobody likes it. People are running in hordes to get Linux. Shout out to Linus, legend. Fuck Bill Gates. Fuck him. Now I have a question for you guys. What do you think is gonna happen if you become a colony of the United States? Like Japan, like Korea, like Ukraine, like Kuwait, like Saudi Arabia, like UAE. I know what you're thinking. These countries aren't colonies of the United States. Really? Really? If America establishes a military base in your country, you have become its colony. Why do you think Iran is striking all these countries? UAE, Kuwait, Qatar. Why? Is Iran crazy? Of course not. these countries have US bases, and these bases are used to attack Iran, are used to attack other adversaries of the US. Pakistan is another base in South Asia. They used to use Pakistan as a base to attack Afghanistan. Everybody knows that. The Pakistani people are against it, but their government, their military is always in favor of attacking Iran or Afghanistan. So I've heard that you're trying to learn cooking these days. Do you have gas? What? You're standing in the line? Oh, it's a problem now, isn't it? I wish Iran could just, lift the barricade at the Strait of Hormuz and let just a couple of vessels pass so that we don't starve to death. That'd be nice, right? I think we should request Iran. What do you mean they've already done that? They've allowed the vessels to pass? But I was told they were evil. They don't want us to starve to death. I think I know what it is. I think they want us to live. Because if we died, we'll be liberated. And we'll go to a better place. But they don't want us to go to a better place. They want us to remain here. And that is why they're saving us. I knew it. I knew it. Evil Iran. America very good friend. America very good friend, sir. Very, very good friend. Very good friend only. Green card, sir. H1B visa, fucking traitors. Why don't you use your skills to better your own country? I'm doing my part. I know what I'm doing. I do this, I do other things too. But I'm not a coward who runs away. Russia and China are helping Iran with intelligence. We could have done the same. We have resources. We could have done that. This is our region. We were also a victim of imperialism. You don't necessarily have to agree with everything what Iran does. But if you're a decent human being, you'll agree that people deserve autonomy. What if Trump kidnaps Modi tomorrow? Will you be okay with that? I mean, you won't be able to do it. But imagine if it did that. We need to have some sense of law, right? It can't be lawlessness. It can't be the wild, wild west. A cop comes in. An IAS officer comes in. A corrupt politician comes in. Stop this shit. We have gods to worship. Let's stick to that. Since the collapse of the Soviet Union, our foreign policy has been all over the place. It's driven by greed, it's driven by corruption, and it's driven by incompetent leaders. And I don't want to give a clean sheet to the citizens of this country either. They wanted that. They loved that. Greed. They get so excited, they almost get a boner when they hear about greed. They get pricked up. I want my thing, I want my neighbor's thing, I want that guy's thing, I want everything. And then in the end, you're left with nothing. Absolutely nothing. You have no idea. Things were way worse for us back in the past. But still, we were decent human beings. We had the guts to call a spade a spade. Now a bunch of businessmen run this country. Everything has to be politically correct. Everything has to line up with Western propaganda. God forbid you tell a truth. And I know this video is not gonna do well. But fuck it. What's the point of it? What's the point if you can't bring even a small change in this country? What's the fucking point of making all these videos? Sometimes I worry about the future generations, Our kids, our grandkids. Because I know things aren't gonna get any better. They're only gonna get worse. And I hope I'm wrong. Nobody likes us anymore. Not even our neighbors. Countries like Sri Lanka and Nepal are making fun of us. They're calling us Pajit and shit. But what's wrong with you? Why can't you come up with a good comeback? Somebody calls you a Pajit and you say you're a Mujit, you're kuch. Tu kutta, tu suwar. What? Dimag laga le bhai. You have a brain, right? Use it. Come up with a good comeback. Come up with a good comeback. Shut them up. Everybody hates us because they're jealous. What? What? Seriously? Do you really think that people are jealous of us? 90% of our people go overseas, do menial jobs, they do labor work. Not everybody's a fucking CEO. Stop treating other minorities when you go to other countries like shit. You're one of them. You're one of the minorities. Just sucking up to the white person is not gonna make you white. These are the only losers who vote right wing in the US. The same people, the same Kyles who call you Pajit and Khajit and Poopjit. My God, the level of self-hatred. Do you hate yourself that much? That you want to be humiliated over and over again? Is this some kind of a kink? Humiliation kink? Some cuckoldry kink? What is it? I'm still trying to figure it out. I can't put my finger on it. You do whatever the fuck you want. He cares. Keep doing the same shit over and over again and keep asking why things don't change. Get educated, you stupid motherfuckers. You open your mouth and it looks like the whole world has gone to shit. These people listen to Ben Shapiro. Most of the times he's just doing propaganda on behalf of a foreign country while sitting in another country that he claims to be a citizen of. There are layers to this crap. And he is your role model? Fuck him. Yeah, that's it. That's it.